What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla stock, what's going on with the overall market, what's happening with some big news involving Nvidia and Tesla, and some very important levels to be watching for. But before I break into things, all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000 into the account, you are guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and soft ends very, very soon. Anyways, now let's break down what's going on with Tesla in the markets. Looking at Tesla, we saw this thing get a very, very nice pump today. I was talking about this push that was likely going to be coming, but I wasn't sure if this push would last, considering what happened on Thursday and Friday when Tesla kind of like pumped and then dumped, pumped and dumped. But today we saw Tesla pump and dump and get bought back up as the market started pushing. And this, as a result, has led to this thing testing 240. So we're actually favoring the bulls a bit more. But we're going to be watching to see how Tesla closes from here because we only have like an hour and a half left for the trading day. Going to be watching to see if we could get a decent close for this thing to push up more. But I want to call out some very important things about the data and the markets first before I break down these charts. This will just take a minute. So firstly, all of the data was kind of decent for today. There's not much significant data coming out for Tuesday and Wednesday. We do have some pieces of data coming out, but don't forget that for Thursday we have CPI coming out. And if SPY holds up very nicely alongside, the Nasdaq, the QQQ, and etc., there's a good chance the market could hold up or even rally approaching CPI and just continue this rally. We're basically setting up for that, so long as we hold these levels and get some decent closes. Now, what's leading the market up is actually Nvidia. Now, I was expecting Nvidia to pump basically to like 498s to 500. It ended up not just pumping there, but breaking new all-time highs, pumping all the way up to almost 520. And the reason why it exploded was because we had some very, very bullish news. Okay, Nvidia is going to be launching some new AI chips in China in either Q2 of 2024 or during the second half of 2024, depending on the sources. But either way, this is big news for them. They're going to be mass producing these chips, and this has led to a big launch in Nvidia, which helped the QQQ really starts to push. This also ended up helping other stocks build some momentum, especially in the tech sector. And then you can't forget about Aapl stock, which is also breaking out. It's helping other sectors as well. Now, when it comes to Tesla, I didn't see any new pieces of news come out. There was a negative headline over the weekend involving Elon Musk possibly taking substances. I don't want to talk too much about it in detail because, once again, I don't want this channel to get demonetized, or I don't really want to talk about those things because, once again, it's just not good. It's not good for the YouTube algorithm. I have to be very careful with that. You guys know I have some restrictions about what I can and cannot talk about. But I do my best to be as honest and open as possible regardless. There are some limitations. There are always going to be limitations because of what I'm using the platform, but it is what it is, guys. But anyways, this news has come out. There's another piece of news that came out, besides the bad news that came out about, Tesla having to fix 1.6 million vehicles with a software update and other negative pieces of news. We had another piece of news which was decent. Tesla could be preparing for a new efficiency package amidst the range concerns because of the change in regulations, right, that have come out. This was what happened by the EPA. They changed many of these estimations and such, which caused Tesla to be forced to reduce its ranges. Well, now reports are saying that as a result of this, based off Tesla's software updates, they could be doing something very different. They could be launching an efficiency package for the Model Y, S, and X, and this might actually help them become more efficient and help increase their ranges. There's a possibility about this, but the details about this update are yet to come out, so we'll be waiting to see what comes out from here. Besides that, now let's now talk about what's happening with the markets. Right now, the market's holding up very nicely. Tesla's not as strong as what it could have been, and you could tell just by how much it's up. If SPY is up 1%, if the QQQ is up 1.7%, right, Tesla should be up at least 2.5 to 3% today, but it's a little bit weak because of the bad news. It's only up 0.8%, which is still okay. I mean, as long as it's green, I'm happy. But we're going to be watching some very important levels. Tesla is testing critical resistance at the 20 EMA on the 4-hour time frame at this 240 zone. That's what's kind of slowing Tesla down. We have very critical support, actually. There's some support at 238.7 and stronger support at 238. If we lose that, our next target is going to be this 235 area if we end up losing that, just for instance, where this yellow trend line of support happens to be. If we break to the upside, watch 240 as resistance. If we break this, 242 is coming next, followed by 244, and etc. Now, there have sometimes been instances where Tesla is a little bit slow to start off its runs and starts running like the next day after the market starts to break out. So there's a good chance Tesla's going to attempt to break higher, but we need to see how it reacts to 240 if we get a decent close for today. Overall, I would say that Tesla is favoring the bulls a bit more after breaking this trend line, but we're watching this 240 area. Can we close above 240 today? Can we break out of it tomorrow? There's going to be a very, very good chance of that happening. So I do favor the bulls a bit more, but I need to see Tesla break 240 first and get a strong close. So make sure you pay very close attention to how Tesla closes. Can we break this EMA? I think there's a good chance it's going to try to do so. And I really believe that Tesla has a run coming, at least a temporary run approaching CPI. Now, SPY is breaking out alongside the QQQ, thanks to Aapl and these other tech stocks. How is SPY doing? So on SPY, I told you all that SPY is going to likely pump, but I wasn't sure if this thing would just keep breaking out. I told you it's going to pump to this resistance, possibly around this 470 area. I told you watch this resistance because the last time we hit 470, we got rejected off 471, rejection off 470. If we, held above this, we could have just remained bullish. If we failed, we could have been range bound. And what happened was we actually broke above it. And we ended up going all the way up to the 471s, breaking above 472 as resistance. Since we broke that resistance, the next target is around 472.94. Once we break that, 474 is coming, 475 with resistance balances, and then 476 is coming next, followed by these higher levels. So SPY is looking bullish, very, very bullish break. We had Nvidia helping the whole market basically, and also Aapl played a much bigger role, at least for SPY specifically. For the QQQ side, Nvidia is going to play a much bigger role, but you guys could just see how this is helping the market building this momentum. So watch your support. We have support now. We're testing 473. Watch support at 472 flat. Below that, we have 471.6. We have 470 and 469 and 468 as supports. Resistance, you're going to be watching for a push at 473. If we break that, 474 is coming, followed by 475 and then 476. In my opinion, the chart looks bullish. It's favoring the bulls heavily. On the 4-hour time frame, we're getting a nice temporary bounce. We actually filled this gap that was unfilled, and we're looking pretty good so far. So overall, I would say that this chart looks bullish. We're pushing up nicely, and we're going to be looking for more upside as we approach CPI. Let's see if we can try to break 473 very soon. On the QQQ side of things, let's check out the QQQ. This to me is looking quite bullish because when you look at the QQQ, we're trying to break, we just broke 402, which is very good. What launched the QQQ was partly because of Aapl and mainly because of Nvidia. Nvidia absolutely exploded after the bullish news came out, and that's helping this thing pump. It's building that momentum that's driving the market up as a whole, right? That's one of the interesting things about the markets. The algorithms adjust similarly. So when you see, Nvidia breaking out, Aapl breaking out, it's going to help QQQ break out, not just because of their weights. And then other tech stocks are going to follow the way, and this is also going to help SPY. So it's very interesting how everything is connected. So with that being said, we're going to be watching this resistance. I remember 403.8 to about 404. The entire zone was where we had some resistance. I could even draw this out if you guys want to see it. So like right about here, we have this 404 to 403.8 area. So like right here, that's going to be our resistance. If we break above this resistance, we're going to be looking for a push for 405.7. And if we break that 405.7 to 406 area, 408 is next for the QQQ. For support, we have critical support. The really strong support is 402. Below that, we have 400 to 399. And then below that, you have 398, 396.5, and these lower levels. Overall, very, very nice push up on the QQQ, holding up very, very nicely. I'm going to be looking for a very, very good push from here. We look bullish on the 4-hour time frame. It looks like it could continue to go higher. And I would say that it's going to try to break 404 very soon. In my opinion, I think 406 plus is coming, but just watch and see if we could hold at least for now. There's a good chance it's going to attempt to go higher, approaching the notorious CPI meeting. So we have CPI on Thursday, basically. It's not a meeting, sorry guys. The CPI report is coming out on Thursday. As we approach CPI, by Wednesday, we could see the market continue to uptrend. This could help the QQQ even more. So far it favors the bulls, looks bullish. The main queen of the day is Nvidia, the main winner. Nvidia exploded. What's interesting about Nvidia was I called out this inverse head and shoulders like structure. I called this out, guys. I'm sure you guys remember that. I was expecting this thing to reach 500 basically 498s to 500 is what I was thinking. I even said this morning. I said this yesterday that it might reach that level, but then I told you that we might kind of stall here because of this resistance. The reason why it didn't stall is because bullish news came out. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't always predict every single piece of news. But very bullish news came out with the new AI chip mass production plan for later on for this year. That was very, very bullish news, and this thing just soared past all-time highs. It just got an even bigger breakout. So yes, we were correct about the direction this thing going up, but it just went even hotter than expected, breaking those all-time highs. So which levels am I basically watching for at this point? At this point, I'm watching. We have 517 point, just 517.5, this area right here. A break above that could send us all the way up to 520, could approach this 520 area. If that breaks, there's 522.5 and then 525. For support, if we end up breaking downwards, watch these wicks. This is going to be your first support, 515.72. If we lose these wicks right over here, the support zone, this 515 range. 514 is where we have some minor support right here. 513.8. Then we have 512. 508 is going to be our next big level. 504 followed by 500. So I have some kind of tight levels on Nvidia, but still not bad whatsoever. Very, very nice push. And there's no sign of it stopping. I think it's going to get very close to 520. If that breaks, 522.5 and 525 are some targets. Nvidia looks bullish overall. It's looking bullish in my opinion. Very, very nice breakout. Lots of excitement with the big news. Be a little bit careful in trying to play this because not financial advice, but I would basically just get in and out. I wouldn't hold overnight because things could always change overnight when you get such a big move. So just be a little careful. Non-financial advice, but it looks bullish, holding up very nicely. This is helping the QQQ push like crazy. Same thing with Aapl. This is breaking out as well. Now, I was thinking Aapl would try to push up into open. I told you to watch and see if we could break this resistance or not around 183. I told you if we broke this thing is going to launch for 185. If we failed to break this, we would just continue to remain range bound. It was range bound for many days in a row. And this time around, it actually got the breakout. So because it broke out, that's a very, very good sign. And I told you we had this gap to fill at 184 and also 185. If we got the breakout, and this time we got it, so that's bullish, very, very bullish. Watch support at 184.25 and 183.5. Watch resistance at 185. If we break 185, we have this wick right over here around 185.8. I think it's very close to that range. We're going to have a little bit of resistance right there, but it's not that strong. The stronger resistance is going to be around 186.5, followed by 188, and then we have 189 to 190 after that. But basically, it's bullish overall. We're going to be watching 185. Can we get a good close? If we push through this tomorrow, we're going to be looking for even more upside for Aapl. This is going to help SPY push the markets. It's going to help other stocks push the markets. It's going to look very, very nice. The market is squeezing. We're also seeing some short covering. The short interest of SPY and these other stocks is starting to drop a little bit. So short covering is happening. We're seeing the market continuing to push, approaching CPI. The market looks bullish. In my opinion, the bulls have a big edge today, and they're going to likely continue to have an edge tomorrow. And we're going to be watching how the market looks approaching January 11th, which is going to be CPI. So I think there's going to be more upside coming. Stocks look strong, and let's hope Tesla also follows the trend. Tesla's about to test 240 again. Let's see if we can close above 240. Let's get a strong close for Tesla. If we get it, more upside is going to be on the table. I think Tesla's building some momentum for more upside for a break. If it wasn't for the bad news that came out over the weekend, I think Tesla could have ran a lot more, but it's okay. We're still fighting for 240. Let's hope Tesla could break that. With that being said, thank you all so much for listening. I hope you guys have a great day. Remain calm, cool, and collected, and I'll see you guys very soon for the final video of the day. Thank you, and peace out.